A strong and highly functional executive board is critically important to every brother in your chapter. Your exec board serves multiple functions, including brainstorming new initiatives, chapter strategic planning, reviewing progress, tracking chapter officer or chairman and committee performance, routinely taking the pulse of your chapter and brotherhood, raising any issues or concerns about operations or individual brothers, and making sure lines of communication between officers and between the exec board and the chapter are wide open. You can expect some low-level friction coming from some of the chapter's general membership, but friction will turn into tension or worse, a breakdown of trust if your exec board doesn't remain transparent with the chapter. Almost every substantive issue the exec board deals with should be shared with the chapter. You don't have to go into great detail, the chapter will get bored listening, but sharing the major bullet points of a chapter issue that's being debated or decided by the exec board takes very little time and all but stops the temptation by some in the chapter to think the exec board is doing stuff behind the chapter's back. One other note, the actions of the exec board should be readily shared with the chapter, but individual discussions, who said what during an exec board deliberation, should be kept confidential. If Officer Bill, as a member of your exec board, believes Officer Frank is leaving your meeting and telling other chapter members what was said, Bill will probably not be willing to provide his point of view at future board meetings. Multiply that problem by weeks and issues, and it's not difficult to see how an exec board member could lose trust with another exec board member, producing a dysfunctional exec board. Just the opposite of what you want and need for a successful chapter. Your exec board is a team, and any highly functioning team makes sure his team members are engaged, heard, and respected. Here's Director of Chapter Services Jaden Brown with the Chapter Services team to provide an exec board simulation.
Hello and welcome to the Executive Board Simulation. My name is Jaden Brown, Director of Chapter Services, and I will serve as the moderator. A part of a healthy chapter is having an executive board meeting each week to provide information and work together as officers. Normally, we would be up in front of you presenting so you could see this live. However, because of the times, we're going to do this over Zoom. It's going to begin with our Vice President running the meeting as each officer gives their own report, then concludes with old business and new business. To make the meetings efficient, you may use Robert's Rules of Order. Another best practice is to make sure that all the officers are giving a report. They should be able to explain to the group what they've been doing in their role since their last meeting. As I said, our ATO staff is going to model how a typical exec board is ran. You'll see their titles listed in their names. Vice President, go ahead.
As VP, I call this meeting to order. Let's start with officer reports, beginning with the President.
Yeah, so I met with the Greek advisor yesterday. He says we're doing well. If you guys could just try and stick your head in and say hello, get to know him a little bit. I'm also still working with the house crew and the house manager to finish up some minor renovations that they want to move forward with. And our consultant is coming next week, so we'll talk about that more during new business.
So we're going to stop and go ahead and we will skip the next officers. And we're going to move to some that provide more specific examples related to specifically the historian, the health and safety, and the recruitment chairman.
Health and safety officer.
We have a party this weekend, so the Health and Safety Committee is meeting on Thursday to finalize our plans. Kim Novak is coming to campus in February, so we want to have at least 85% of the chapter there. If you could help me spread the word and get as many people there as we could, that would be appreciated. And then I'm also working with our LC to adopt some new health and safety initiatives. We've talked about looking to partner with some offices and organizations on campus to potentially bring some speakers to a chapter meeting to help educate on that as well.
Thank you. Historian.
Collecting stuff from last exec for the annual True Merit Report. I'll be giving everyone a list of things I need you to track for the semester. I made a few posts to Roadshow yesterday. Make sure you like and share them on Facebook.
Thank you. Recruitment chair, what's the latest with your committee?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you to all the guys who have updated Chapter Builder. Recruitment boot camp is coming up soon. I'm going to send out the info for that. And then we're also going to be, we're going to do it on campus so we can get a fresh mindset. And I know it's early, but we need to start prepping for summer recruitment, a meeting with recruitment committee to discuss plans on that.
Following these men, the other chairman would give all of their reports. We're going to fast forward to new and old business.
All right, moving on to old business. Last week, Treasurer brought up that we should have a conversation about whether or not we should send some of our alumni to collections. We had some time constraints, so we're picking it up tonight.
Yeah, so I talked with our customer service rep at OmegaFi and found some of our alumni owe a ton of money. I think Chase owes about $2,000 and Mike owes about $4,000. They're both graduated, but I wondered if we shouldn't just send them to collections to try to get that money back. It would really help us pay some bills that we have coming up.
I don't know if I'm totally on board with that because they just graduated like a few months ago.
Even with that, though, they both have jobs.
They weren't the only two that graduated. We had 17 and 15 of them didn't have a problem getting all their bills paid before they graduated. Only these two. I don't think it's too hard to send them to collections. They knew when they joined they'd have to pay this bill until they graduated, so I'm all for sending them to collections. I also think this sets a good example for the actives in the chapter so they don't have to pay as well.
I'm just saying, I don't know if it's super fair to send guys to collections that just graduated, you know? Like they're our brothers, so I don't think we should be trying to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get that, but no one is out to get them. It's not fair to everyone else in the chapter. If we all are held to the same standard, then why are they allowed to just not pay a couple of years worth of dues?
Leighton, do you know what they all owe money for?
Yeah, it's all logged on in OmegaFi, so I can pull that up.
Okay, so what if we sent them a reminder that the money owed needs to get paid and offer to work with them on payment plan? If they don't comply, then we send them to collections. That's a compromise where we don't just screw them over, but either way, we get the money the chapter's owed.
I move to vote on this.
All in favor? Okay. All opposed? All right. That's all we have for old business. New business?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, our LC Jaden is coming into town. I'll send everyone an email to the Google Doc with a schedule. Please fill it out by tomorrow night.
Anything else for new business?
Yeah, I've got some stuff about our signature event. I've been talking with some of the new guys, and they seem pretty gung-ho about it. They've been talking about all these things they can do to take it up to the next level, which I'm obviously super on board with. And I was talking with Jack about maybe forming a committee to help put it together so they can give all their input.
Yeah, a lot of them were really interested when I taught them about it during membership education.
Can I nominate myself to join the committee? I'd really like to see this succeed even more than last year, and I think Evan and Tom both have a lot of potential as well. They should be on it too.
All right, let's get someone older who's seen how it runs a few times to chair the committee. How about Robert? He helped with logistics a lot last year, and I think he'd be good at organizing these guys' creative ideas.
Yeah, this would take a lot off our plate so we could focus on other things. So I'm totally in favor. Let's have Robert come in, report to us once a week so we can get updates, but try to be a little more hands-off than usual otherwise.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion if anyone has one.
Yeah, I motion to form the signature event committee with Robert as chairman.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, all those opposed? Okay, motion passes. I'll let Robert know. Do we have any other new business? Okay. You guys on JBoard, I mentioned in my report, we have to have a JBoard for guys on grades. Are you all able to meet at our regular JBoard time this week? All right, cool. Great, we'll plan on doing it at regular time. I think that's all for new business. Moving to announcements, Jacob, don't forget to send these minutes to the chapter and CCJ and the LC and our BOT. Brotherhood retreats next weekend. Meeting adjourned.
So as you saw, the meeting was conducted in a formal manner with everyone given the opportunity to speak. Part of the role of the vice president is to keep the meeting on track. You also note that the secretary, Jacob, kept record of the meeting minutes so that he could send those out. If you have further questions about running your executive board meeting, please reach out to your leadership consultant.